Procrastination, the habitual postponement of necessary tasks, is often dismissed as mere laziness or poor time management. Yet for many, it is a complex dance of fear, perfectionism, distraction, and emotional avoidance. In the modern world, where distractions are engineered to be irresistible and self-worth is tied to productivity, procrastination can provoke guilt, anxiety, and self-loathing. But what if we approached procrastination not with shame, but with the clarity and compassion of Stoic philosophy? To procrastinate as a Stoic does not mean indulging delay, it means understanding its roots, taking full ownership and responding with reason, virtue, and action. Stoicism, the ancient Greco-Roman philosophy practiced by figures like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, centers on the distinction between what is within our control, prohierais, and what is not. Crucially, our judgments, choices, and actions are ours to govern. External outcomes, other people's opinions, and even our initial impulses are not. Procrastination, then, is not a flaw of circumstance but a failure of will, a misalignment between our rational faculty and our behavior. The Stoic does not blame the task, the deadline, or the distractions. They examine their own assent to inaction. The first Stoic insight is this: procrastination is a judgment, not a fate. When we say, "I can't start," or "I'll do it later," we are not describing reality but expressing a belief often rooted in fear of failure, fear of imperfection, or aversion to discomfort. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The task itself is neutral. It is our interpretation that it is too hard, too boring, too overwhelming that generates avoidance. The Stoic practice is to catch this impression, question it, and replace it with a rational alternative. This task is necessary. Doing it imperfectly is better than not doing it at all. Second, the Stoics teach that virtue lies in action aligned with duty. For Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher, life was not about comfort but about fulfilling one's role with integrity. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, he wrote, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. Procrastination violates this duty not because of missed deadlines, but because it represents a retreat from our nature as rational, responsible beings. Every delayed task is a quiet betrayal of prohieresis, our moral will. To procrastinate as a Stoic, then, is to recognize this betrayal immediately and correct course, not with self-flagellation, but with renewed commitment to what is right. Third, Stoicism embraces voluntary hardship, ascesis, as training for resilience. Seneca advised practicing discomfort to inoculate the soul against weakness. Procrastination often stems from an aversion to the mental or emotional effort required by a task. The Stoic response is not to seek easier tasks, but to lean into the difficulty as an opportunity to strengthen character. Writing that difficult email, starting that report, having that hard conversation, these are not obstacles but exercises in courage and discipline. By reframing effort as virtue, the Stoic transforms procrastination's trigger into its antidote. Moreover, the Stoics emphasize the present moment as the only point of power. Marcus Aurelius repeatedly urged, confine yourself to the present. Procrastination lives in the false comfort of later, a time that never arrives. The future is not within our control. Only this moment is. To delay action is to surrender agency. The Stoic asks, what is the right thing to do now? Not tomorrow, not after one more video, not when motivation strikes, but now. Action precedes motivation, not the other way around. The Stoic begins, however, imperfectly, because beginning is an act of will. Crucially, Stoicism offers self-compassion without indulgence. If one has procrastinated, the Stoic does not spiral into regret. Regret fixates on the past and externality beyond control. Instead, they acknowledge the lapse with honesty, learn from it, and return immediately to right action. As Epictetus said, if you falter, don't lose heart. Pick yourself up and continue. The goal is not perfection, but progress in virtue. Each moment is a new opportunity to choose reason over impulse. Practically, procrastinating as a Stoic involves daily exercises, morning preparation, anticipate tasks, and emotional resistance. Pre-commit to action regardless of feeling. Impression examination. When the urge to delay arises, pause and ask, is this judgment true? Is it helpful? Does it align with my values? Micro-action. Break tasks into the smallest possible step. The Stoic knows that motion creates momentum. The The first sentence, the first email, the first minute of work breaks the spell of inertia. Evening review. Reflect without judgment. Where did I act with courage? Where did I yield to avoidance? How will I respond differently tomorrow? Finally, the Stoic recognizes that procrastination often masks deeper misalignments, tasks that lack meaning, roles that contradict values or goals imposed by external validation. Here, Stoicism encourages radical honesty. Is this task truly mine to do? Does it serve my duty as a rational, social being? If not, the virtuous act may be to decline or redefine it, not delay it. But if it is aligned with duty, delay is merely self-deception. To procrastinate as a Stoic, then, is an oxymoron because the true Stoic does not procrastinate. Instead, they understand the mechanisms of delay, take full responsibility for their choices, and meet resistance with reasoned action. They know that time is fleeting, memento mori, that every moment squandered is never regained, and that the good life is built not in grand gestures, but in the disciplined fulfillment of small duties, done now, done well, done without complaint. In a world that glorifies busyness yet enables endless distraction, Stoicism offers a quiet rebellion, the courage to begin, the clarity to persist, and the integrity to act today, not tomorrow.